Hello everyone, welcome to another Friday Live, and today we are having lunch together, even though we are not eating lunch. How you doing, Elba?
Great, Susan. It's a kind of weird because we always have the live on at 4, but now it's like it's sunny and it's like it's weird.
It's different, we have lighting.
Yes, I think that's the difference.
That is the different. Well, today is National Beatles Day, so we're gonna go for it. And by the way, today we are back with the profiler task for Lena and myself. We decide to go live. We even though record the show is crazy. Lena and I will record the show, I think that was last week, about John McAfee. And it was supposed to air on Wednesday, and we have a glitch with the system, and we couldn't publish the episode. And guess what? He apparently committed suicide on Wednesday. So today we're going to go with Lena. We're going to analyze the language. We're going to analyze the body. We're going to analyze the face. And we have a special guest. We have Eric Huntley, who was the last person to do an interview with him. So if you like crimes, and you want to know how to profile someone, I would say do not miss the show. It's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, and 4 Pacific Time. So go to our YouTube channel. We're going to be streaming in our YouTube channel too, because it's going to be a great episode. But today we have the Beatles, and that it was Elba option to do it. So, honey, why you pick the Beatles? You know that I don't like them.
I mean, you know what? I didn't know too much about them, and when I saw that they have their own day, I was like, okay, let's see what's going on here. So I think it's a good way to know what they were and what they did and who they were in that time.
Yeah, definitely they were the rebel boys, and we use the rebel in different ways. Rebel for being playful, and rebel for rebellious. So you're gonna see that we use the word rebel differently, with the big B and the B as a victory. So it's not a mistake. We did it on purpose. You know that we always like to do things to trigger your brain. So we're not gonna be live next Friday. Why? We even need to change our open class for the students, because most people is taking advantage of the long weekend of 4th of July, and we have emailed people saying like, oh, I will not going to be able to see you guys. I'm so sorry, but are you still going to be doing the live? I want to participate. So let's give everybody a break. The weather is getting better. Not today. We are on the 60s and raining, like flooded all around Chicago and Indiana. So no, the summer started on the 21. I don't know what happened. But anyway, so next Friday, we are not going to be live, but you can always review the last episode. And we have somebody in Facebook saying, hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you for being here. But if you still want to see what troubles we're getting into, you can go to humanbehaviorhackerschool.com. And I just saw the 2 students book us this morning on the bundle for face reading. So welcome to the team. And reminder, we're going to re-record all the classes that we have in face reading during July. So if you either are a student, you're going to receive a link to participate in the re-recording of the classes. But if you want to learn face reading live, and to have us, all the community, the ones who already are students, and myself and you, Elba, and recording, we're going to record it in 5 days. We're going to do it on the weekends, because we have a lot of students from outside the country and other continents like Europe and Asia and Africa. So we're going to make sure that everybody can participate. And if you want to know what troubles we are getting into with webinars and things and news, you can go to humanbehaviorlab.com. And we start having information. Thank you, Anne. Led by primary songwriter Lennon and McCartney, the Beatles built their reputation playing clubs in Liverpool and Hamburg over 3 years from 1960. Thank you. She's our scriber. If this was a hostage negotiation, she will be our scriber. She keeps us on track. So let's go talk about the rebel boys, the Beatles. And you are more popular than Jesus now. I don't know which will be go first, rock and roll or Christianity, John Lennon and Evening Standard. I love that phrase, and I need to give it to Elba because she was the one who picked it up.
Yeah, I think it
So,
was a good one.
you want to read the timeline or you want me to do it because it's a lot of complicated words?
Oh, I think you can do it. You can do it this time.
Oh, thank you very much. You're so kind. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to turn off my phone. I hope nobody called me. Don't call me.
Oh, okay.
The Beatles. Global Beatles Day was found in 2009 and is used to celebrate their music and their message of peace and love. They were a rock and roll band that formed in 1960. The band was formed by John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr. They were rejected by Columbia Record, HMV, PYA Record, Philip Record, Oriole Records, Decca Records, and others. Do you know how many how many writers were rejected initially, and after that ended up being a bestseller? Harry Potter. Remember
Yeah.
how Harry Potter started? She was a stay-home mom collecting unemployment checks, and she had these stories she was telling her kid. And you know what? She decided one day, let's put her in a book. And guess what? She's one of the best millionaires on the world, and she's an amazing writer. So you never know. And I have stories about friends who sold their companies and like, I want to be a writer. And I have especially a friend who is an amazing writer, is one of his top bestseller, New York bestseller, and Amazon bestseller. And guess what? Until he turned 50, he had a truck company.
Wow.
So you never know. In June 1962, they signed with Parlophone and started recording with producer George Martin. The band received 7 Grammy Awards, 4 Brits Award, and an Academy Award of Best Original Song Score in 1970 for the film Let It Be, and 15 Ivor Noble Awards. In April 1907, they officially announced their breakup. I have a thing with the Beatles. And what I do have with the Beatles is, okay, before we put John Lennon, is I like the Stones, I like Kiss, I like all the old bands like Rush. Why? Because doesn't matter what they come into their life, doesn't matter who they married or divorced, they were solid as a band. What happened in this band, it was so much controversial. They were fighting to each other so much, they ended up diluting as a band. So I get it. For 10 years, they're like, we're managing to break up the scene. But the truth to be told, it's they keep for themselves the best information, the best knowledge they have, that is their music. As pioneers in recording, songwriting, and artistic presentations, the Beatles revolutionized many aspects of the music industry and were often publicized as leaders of the era youth and social cultural movement. So let's go with John Lennon. Hey, we have Arcangel Music. Hello, how you doing? I guess you are a fan. Okay, you want to take it? You want me to take it? What do you want to do with this?
Okay, let's start. Okay, let's. In this picture, when John Lennon went on the 1960, there's something that captured my attention. It's her teeth. You can see her crooked teeth. It's like he became like really, really, really perfectionist. And he has another thing here. His eyelids, his business eyelid, he doesn't have it. So he were focused on things, and he were like, okay, I need my space. But in his personal life, he tend to be more like, okay, let's enjoy with people, let's have time with people. But at the end of the day, I will have my time. So you can see in the face that the eyelid is so different between the sides.
Hey, Moonlight View. Hello, lady. How you doing? Good morning. Well, good evening already, depending where you're located. Yeah, there are studies showing that the upper teeth has to do with your personal life as well as the upper lip. the lower teeth and the lower lip has to do with your business side. In this case, he have crooked in both, and extremely, extremely crooked. Okay, Arcangel Music says, I remade a Beatle documentary called The Complete Beatle Remake. It's on Vimeo since YouTube will allow it on here due to copyrights. Oh, good to know.
Thank
for
you.
all the Beatles fans. Another thing that I would say, and he have the eyebrows. The eyebrows are crazy. And you know what? On the 70s, he had the unibrow.
Yes.
So he stopped pulling the eyebrows. When somebody have unibrows, have that mind that never stop, like going and going and going and going, never stop. They go crazy all over the place. So I guess he have the same on when he was younger, but he was pulling it. But at the age of by 1970, he's like, okay, I don't do this anymore. I'm gonna keep doing what I need to do. I'm gonna let my hair grow. But his eyebrows on his personal side, he become in 1970 having a better BS filter for the scattered hair that he have. And actually it's crazy, the mouth. He always have secret lines.
Yes,
but the upper lip. I was reading an article about Chinese face reading, and they says that when a person sit their lips open, it's because they have lung problems. They need more air, and they need to breathe faster. Like when a picture is with the mouth open, I'm keep doing research on that, because now I get really intrigued about the pictures and when people take it and what is the difference. But I'm gonna be keeping on that. I'm researching more. But yeah, the upper lip disappeared. But something that get my attention on the 1970s, even though his upper lip disappeared, he have a better defined cupid bow. He was more getting attention and what he have to say and how he say it. So cupid bow has to do with this like shape, hard shape, top of the lip. He had it, but you can see the straight, small mouth. And you would think from a singer, because their vocals and their mouth is the way they express, it would have a bigger mouth.
Yeah, but it doesn't. He doesn't have it.
We didn't went through until he was killed. Elva and I would talk about we're gonna narrow how we're gonna read the Beatles. And she says, like, why we don't do it from the 1960s until they break up. Let's not do like what is going on now. Let's go and do it with the time they were located there. But for a person who becomes so vocal and becomes so expressive about what he think and how he think it, it was kind of, it was surprised. Now, what happened with the tip of the nose? What do you think?
I think the tip of the nose, he starts getting like he needs proof before he believes in something.
Yeah, between his small mouth on the 70, the turned down eyes and the tip of the nose getting down, he become more accepted. Thank you. Skeptical, relating to everything out there. Now he stopped hiding his forehead, and if we need to talk in the sun, he was a thinker and a doer. But you know what? He had a long nose. Elva, you froze, my love.
He's from the quality, not for the quantity.
Yeah.
I'm here.
So music says, do you know who's Klaus Bormann? It sounds extremely familiar, but I do not recall now. If you can bring my memory back, my first meeting was 6 o'clock in the morning again today, and I'm presenting yesterday. I have a conference all day today. We have the live with Lena Sisko and Eric Huntley at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And tomorrow I have the conference all day too. So, and by the way, I decided to paint my sunroom. I have paint all over my face. Thank God you cannot see it. Oh, thank you very much. He drew the Beatles Revolver album. Ooh, I like the covers. Even though my mom used to have the White Album
Oh,
sign it. So
wow.
I never know if it's real or not. She denied to say it, but my oldest brother get it when she died.
Okay.
He met the Beatles in Hamburg before they were famous. Thank you very much, guys. I love that you bring new information for everybody to know, and it's good to have famous. I met him, and he signed my Revolver album for me. Like, are you
Great.
kidding me? That is
Great.
awesome.
Yes.
Congratulations that you have it in a bulb or you have it in a really special furniture, no? Anyway, what else you want to tell me about John Lennon? You know what? What
What?
about the ears?
Oh,
Before and
on the
after.
before and after. I think from the business side, it's going to be like more stick out than on the 1970. They get closer to the head, close to the
You know
head.
what? It's completely in coherence with the person that he was on the 1970. And when people says, well, you force your reading based on the story of the people, like, no, I say it as I see it. Your face doesn't lie. When you have your ears stick to the head, it's a person who follow the rules. No John Lennon on the 70s, a person who's gonna says what you tell them to say. No. That brings me to the question. He was following Yoko Ono thoughts and ideas, or they were his ideas and she was more verbalized about it. If I need to read this person for a profile, I would say if you give him orders to follow and a structure to follow, he's going to be a cult follower. He's not going to be a cult leader.
Nope.
He doesn't
I think
have
this.
anything in his face who's telling me that he's going to be a leader, but he's going to be more a follower.
Yes. Even
What?
he's like his chin is not like big chin, like not it's not like assertive or be like determinate. He's the opposite.
Yeah, he have a small chin who would say me that is more sensitive with his own perception about the world and about himself and how people see it. And nothing on his face tell me that he will be the revolutionary person that John Lennon become. Actually, what
Maybe
says that he was an extremely
voice
introvert person.
Mhm. For me too.
Introvert and shy.
Mhm.
Now, on the
Because
first picture, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
sorry, it's because it's not the same. Being introvert and being shy is it's not the same. So he has both.
Yeah, I think he had both. And on the first picture, when on the 1960, we can see a lot of white under the eye, but again, can be the angle of the picture. But he was like kind of on the second picture, 1970, he has something that is more concerned to me. The eyelid on his business side is cutting the pupil. So when you see white part of the eye and the eyelid cutting the pupil, is people who is under a lot of stress, a lot of pressure, and start getting a little disconnected from the reality. And can you see the inner counter on the ear? Nothing.
No,
He doesn't have any. You're going to find that in artists, painters, writers, creative people who live in their own world and their own mind and their own head. And that's what I see. Anything else that I'm missing?
I think the nose. You see the nose before and after.
Mm-hmm. He becomes thinner.
Yeah, he become more self-made.
Yep. Music says Klaus is on the Revolver album above George Head. Oh, I lost it. As far right. Klaus' girlfriend was Astrid Kircher. She left Klaus for one of the Beatles tours, who was the bass player for the Beatles, and Astrid gave the Beatles haircut. Ooh, I love it. Keep it going.
You know what? Arcangel, you put something on the table because the haircut that the Beatles had in that time was like the rebel haircut, because for everyone started like copying the haircut because it was a way to be like rebel and change the way that men used to cut their hair. So it's great. Yeah, they changed that too.
Moonlight View says, what is the Stuart, I don't know how you pronounce it, Sutcliffe? And music says, yes, Moonlight. Okay, we have Beatles fans. I'm so happy that we can please you guys. So anything else that you want to mark, or we go into the next one?
We go to the next one. Oh, I have to be honest. I want to see the last one because that's the one that like impressed me a lot.
Okay. Now, whoa. Okay. What happened with his left eyebrows on the picture with the business side?
You see how different?
But he was the one thinking outside the box.
Yes, he was the one thinking outside the box. He was the one that is like extremely visual. And yes, but he put a lot of distance when in the 1960 when he started like business thing. He was the one that put in a lot of distance and said like, okay, this is my bear here.
You know what? Something that John Lennon didn't have is a critical line.
No.
And he didn't have any cliff on the chin who showed that he was a team player. Now, Paul McCartney on the 60 have a huge Cupid bow, like I haven't seen. He have a indentation on the upper lip, then I don't know, it's a forced smile. But something that he have is a big, deep indentation, critical line.
Yes, it's a big one. Yes,
he have a straight, square, big chin, and he have a huge dimple that is show that these kind of personalities are team players. And he have an up nose, but on the 70s, the tip go a little down and the eyes change. What else you have, Elva?
And the eyes. And you know what? Another thing that captured here for me was his upper lip on the 70s. Because he's covering, even the Cupid bow, he's covering. So he stopped like not talking about what I feel.
Yeah, and you know what? I did a reading 10 days ago to a group of lawyers, and I remember in a long time was the first time that I did a reading. The guy says like, no, I don't think that has to do with me. Like, okay, I'm gonna point at what I'm reading in your face is the hair covering the upper lip, and like, oh no, I haven't had a trim in 3 weeks because my barber have COVID, but I always use the hair in this way. And like, shoot, you threw me out with your hair on the top of your lip. But yeah, McCartney, and you know the eye, you see the personal eye went really, really down.
Really down. He starts seeing problems in everything. The good part is he has a solution for them, but he starts seeing problems around him in everything that he sees.
But you know what? It's a consistency. What happened with the hair on the forehead?
He start covering, like hiding his intelligence.
But you know what? There is a meaning on the way of and the part of the face that you cover with your hair. When you cover, like we see on the picture from 1916, I'm sorry, my headphones are giving me a hard time. When you see the picture from the 1960s, he is covering his business side. He didn't want to be seen. But in 1970s, he covered his personal life. I don't know if that he was already married with Linda McCartney, the wife he had until she died from cancer.
Yes, they were married. That's what I read.
Yeah, but only to summarize, pointy eyebrows. The proxemic on the business side is different. And I like because he lifts his eyebrows like I do it. I lift one of my eyebrows. I don't wear makeups. I hide in my non-makeup eyes under my glasses, so I'm not going to take it off. But he lifts, okay, which one I lift? Okay, my personal eyebrows is going, no, my personal eyebrows going higher than my business. Yeah, because in my personal life, like I'm way more recluded and need more time to let people in. But yeah, he did on the business side. In the business side, he was like more like, okay, I will not gonna trust you as soon you come with me. But you know what? Did you see the shiny on the top of the nose? Because he have a pointy nose, tip up of the nose. Maybe you cannot figure out, but he have the created nose.
Yeah, he has the tip of the bottom, the tip of the nose. Yes.
Yeah.
And you see another thing here, his
What?
eyelid.
Yeah, he's more.
Needy on his business side.
But on the 17, he's way more exposed.
Yes. Way. So, but they change, but they still have the same like consistency.
But on his personal side, it's funny that he was covering his, on the 70s, he's covering the forehead with the hair on the personal side. His eye on the personal side is turned down.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was heartbroken at that point. That's when they broke out.
Oh, yes, a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see, I know for the beard, it maybe it's not clear enough, but the mouth on the personal side start turning a little down.
He became pessimist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the proxemic change. He become less patient with people.
Yeah.
But I love his stick out ears.
I do.
And you see again, no inner outer reach, nothing. You're gonna find out so much on musicians. And by the way, I'm not reading the comments. I just put it out there so we don't take too much time. But I leave it enough so you guys can read it. Anything else, love, that you wanna mention about Paul McCartney?
No, I think we have. Oh, there's something here. Do you see his forehead?
Mm-hmm.
About the 60s and then on the 70s, I think it grows.
I'm sorry, you get cut
What do you
off.
think?
What you says that is bigger?
I think, yeah, I said it's bigger from the 60s to the 70s.
What
What do
Yeah,
you think?
I think his forehead become bigger. And another thing that it's get my attention, he doesn't have a round forehead. He have a straight forehead. He have an engineering process. This guy have a process to do things, and he doesn't like to change the process and the way he does it. Moonlight View says the ears. Yeah, the ears. But you know what? We need to be honest. On the second picture in 1970s, he doesn't show the ears because they're covered with hair. But that's who he was on the 1970s. So we cannot do a progression on the ears, but the ears are really, I like it. I would like to talk to a person. And by the way, the ears were high. Visual, processing information fast. He need to be right based on knowledge, and he was feisty. He was feisty. Anything else?
Nope. I think we had it with Paul McCartney.
I'm about to sneeze, and I'm holding it, and it's weird because I cannot concentrate. I cannot concentrate anything else than not sneezing. Oh, Susan, get your things together. It's Friday. Oh God, I'm sorry that if I don't do this, I'm gonna mess it up.
Okay, don't worry. Don't worry.
You know what? At the end of the day, we're humans, and this is life.
Yeah, and there are things that we do like humans.
Yeah. Excellent, girls. Excellent that we're sneezing. We're live on the presentation, Moonlight. Put it out there, girl. Okay. Yeah, we have a bigger crowd when we do it later, and I know most of you are working, but I'm hoping that you can see this later on the day. So, George Harrison. Holy cow. You like it, Des?
You know what? There's something here. He has his mind and his thoughts like a river. Doesn't stop. So yeah, this
It's
dude is
funny, that is the second Beatle that we see that he have unibrows.
huh?
If I met someone with unibrows, I
Yes,
would
but
says
what was
near.
before?
I'm sorry, we have an, I think, an internet delay. What you said?
In this one we have it before that in this one, sorry, in this one he showed it on the 60s but not on the 70s.
The
John
eyebrows?
Lennon was
The opposite. But
yes.
I don't think that the unibrows are changing so much. I think that people plug it or stop plugging it. But it's funny that he covered his forehead too, because you can choose to have long hair and not to cover your forehead. But I'm gonna point something. The eyebrows. Oh my God, this guy was intense.
So intense. Yes.
Okay, Aerodog says, have you ever seen The Despot? Joseph Stalin as a young man. He was nothing short as gorgeous. I'm sorry, I kind of lost. If do you understand the question? If somebody understand or you want to maybe rephrase it another way. George Date, okay, we have a fun. We definitely have a Beatles fan. Thank you very much for being here. Really appreciate your insight. So Emula says he was introspective. I don't know if he's introspective, but let me tell you something with these eyebrows. Whatever he initiated, he finished it. On the 60s and the 70s was a correlation between that, who makes sense with the eyebrows. He had straight eyebrows. I wanted facts, data. Don't give me too much explanation. Tell me what I need to play, when we playing, and how we playing. That's it. His mind never ever stopped. He kept going and going and going and going and going. I think this man probably had problems sleeping. And you see the contempt smile. I always says the micro expressions do not happen on the mouth, happen on the eyebrows. And more than once I says, I have more success training people on micro expressions during the mask pandemic than when it's not, because you start getting distracted for the mouth and you start paying attention to the eyes. Doesn't matter if you're wearing glasses or not. But you can see his contempt, like he knows he's a rebel boy and he knows what he's getting to. And you can see on the eye, the squinted on the eye. So you can see even content on the eyes, but his eye on the personal side was turned down, who have nothing to do with the expression he's showing here. But in the 70s, he had poppy eyes. He had turned down eyes, poppy eyes, showing the lower wide part of the eyes. And I'm going to put it over there. A lot of drugs and psychedelic medication, let's say it that way, can do that to get you disconnect. Now, I'm really pissed off that we couldn't find a picture where we can see, but I don't see a lot of reach either. What do you think?
No, me neither. Me neither. Me neither. It was hard to find that one, the picture with clear ears with him especially, but he doesn't have.
I don't see it either. By the way, depending of the other features that you have on the face can be really positive or not. I have a dear friend that he is a photographer, he's an interior designer, and he is a painter. And he is amazing. I love him to death. Guess what? We went to Wisconsin to a museum. We went to for a music festival all together in a group of friends. And suddenly we were in the museum and look at his ears like, do you not do that you don't have any inner reach? And his girlfriend says, that is good or bad? Like, I try not to read my friends, but one of the reasons he's so creative and he's so good is for that. Now, what happened? when he gets in his rabbit hole creating, he can paint and he can photograph and retouch photographs for 10 days and forget about the world. Actually, it was really nice because I called him a couple of weeks ago, and like, hey, why are you calling me? Like, just because. And he was painting and he made me a paint at the same time that we were talking. It's not that he was disconnected from the call. When he heard my voice and when we were talking about something personal, he was inspired. And now I have one of his original waiting in a special place in my office to have it. That, you know what? He get disconnected from reality. When he is creating, don't call him. He's not gonna replay emails. Sometimes he take a nap at 3 p.m. at the evening and doesn't wake up until 10 p.m. Even if he have a date or have a dinner with friends, because he living in his own world. Now, he's the sweetest, best friend you can ever ask on the world. He's nothing psychopath, nothing that make him danger to reality, but is his trait. He's an artist in every of his aspect. Even he used to have like the breath, like the long hair.
Mhm.
When I saw the picture, like, dude, you're bald now. Like, yeah, I was doing too much breath when I was younger. But that's what I'm saying. Again, with the same things that you can do something good, you can do something bad. With the same thing that you can do cupcakes, you can do muffins. Now, taxable is different. Muffin is breakfast and cupcakes are luxury. That's the reason cupcakes are more expensive. Do you know that?
Mhm. Yeah.
After so many years working in DC, you start learning how to label your things to be less taxable. Another life, long time ago. So, do you have anything else you want me to tell? You want us to talk about George Harrison?
You see his chin on the 60s?
Yeah.
It looks like pointy.
Yep. And what about the 45 degrees cheeks
Cheeks.
of the
Yes, he became
70s?
a warrior. Yes, he became a warrior.
This guy becomes so feisty that I don't want to see him in a bad day. But the good news when you have somebody so feisty is never going to give up. Is going to keep fighting for whatever they think or they think is right. Now, because he have the kind of ears that we talked before and he have 40-degree angled warrior cheeks, is the kind of person that when he set mind in something it need to be in a certain way, is not going to change that easy.
No.
Because the warrior get on the fight, keep fighting, but sometimes they're not stopped to evaluate if they're in the right war and they need to keep fighting or not. What do you think, Elba?
Yeah, I think the same. And you see the line here on his between his
Oh, the same
eyebrows.
one you have, the little bat.
The same one. It makes coherence with that too.
Yeah, so when we're talking about that, we're talking about this line. You see this line? But it's, I don't know if it's the angle of the picture, so I will not going to call it. One of the things on face reading, if you're not 100%, you don't call it. It's not because you don't have your craft correct. It's because I never met these people. Those are old pictures, and we don't have any backup or any person in front of us to tell us if we are on the right path. I think it's more on the personal side, more burned out. But another thing that he developed is the scattered hair, the BS filter, and both. And his nose on both were turned down.
Yes. Now, we have to put something here. We have been looking for the first three. Now,
okay, you want, I know, you want the last one. You want Ringo Starr. You want Ringo Starr. I get it. We're going to go there. Don't, I promise. I promise. You're part of the lie. I promise. You know what? I can do this if I want. Look at this. If you drive me crazy, you're not there anymore. So don't do that. Don't drive me crazy. I bring you back.
So yeah, don't drive me crazy. I think we there's one thing we can address here. It's the first three, they have his turned down nose. At the end of when they break out.
Moonlight says George was heavily invested in the belief in the later picture. Yeah, I think that he converted to Hinduism. The truth to be told, I usually watch documentaries to know more about them. I didn't do it with the Beatles. No idea. I'm clueless. I want to know less. They're not my band. By the way, Elton John is doing the farewell tour in Chicago. I'm waiting for the tickets to come up and see him.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm gonna wait. When I got my tickets, we're probably gonna be reading Elton John because I think it's fascinating and I saw his face. Moonlight says LOL when I disconnected you. I never did that before. Sorry, Elba, just like because I know I'm obsessed with things, but you, honey, are following the path.
Yeah.
You're really near to. I never know if I ruined you or you was ruined before, and that's the reason we ended up working together.
Yeah, I think that happened. I think I was ruined before. I only have when I start with you, I just have the tools to let it out.
Oh my God, don't tell your husband. Moonlight says, yeah, Elton John, yes, like Elton John have a fascinating story and a fascinating face. Elton John want to join the Beatles, but John say no. Yeah, I do know. That is what I did the correlation in my head. And by the way, I still can see Elton John. I cannot see the Beatles, even though I saw Paul McCartney live. I'm a huge junk music. Yeah, I saw Paul McCartney. I see, and usually, except that I open my big mouth and I mess it up, I'm like to go to the concert by myself, so nobody bother me. Yeah, I saw the last 80s AC/DC tour that were, remember, and there was the last one where before the band get replaced with some of the members, and I remember getting my phone and getting my nephew and what's up. He's a musician and I love it. So what else do you want to say? Like Archangel music, do you have anything else on George Harrison, Moonlight, or we going to the one who Elba wants? If it's not, she's going to give you a hard time. Anything else?
I think we had it.
Okay, I'm going to give it to you. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
What is wrong? What is wrong with this one?
See how different? And I want to tell you something. I just want to have something here. I just want to give you this one because I think it's great. What happened with his eyebrows?
No, what happened with his
on the
eyes?
70s?
You know what? Okay,
with his eyes too, because it's like different, so different.
Moonlight says, I could talk all day. Keep going. Moonlight, you have big ears, no?
I think so.
Yep. I kind of bet. Okay, we do something on Train the Trainers and it take longer, but you can do a reverse reading based on words that people use. Actually, I did it with someone and he gave me a lovely testimonial and I put it on the website. After 15 minutes, Susan sees me so well that got scary. I tell him what kind of eyebrows, the proxemic, the ears, the chin, the forehead he have only for talking to him. She says, I have tiny ears. Moonlight, I'm going to say this and only for you. Send me an email. I want to read your face.
Okay.
Don't tell anyone. Ringo was a heavy drinker. Yeah, I can see the dark side on his eye. I could talk all day. Keep going. Moonlight, I want to read your face. Please, please, please. But you see, I own it. She says, okay, I want to read your face because it's something about sound for you.
Yes.
I could talk. Yeah. When you say talking, it's because you have a sense of sound. So I want to find out where is the sense of sound on your face. Now I have a challenge. I'm excited.
Yes.
Thank you, Moonlight.
I saw your face. That is a challenge. Yes.
drop your email. Don't worry, we're going to put it at the end so you can send it. And by the way, Elba, I want to go to see your picture too. So, but don't worry, we're not going to publish your picture.
No.
It's going to be private. But now I do want to know what is in your face that has to do with sound. Okay, first, one of the reasons that a person can go so dark, and you can see these two lines on the 70s, is the nose. This is an emotional, extremely polarized person regarding emotions. Elba?
Yes. It's like, he's like a tornado with his emotions.
Yeah, he's controlled by his emotions and not by the thinking and doing. His emotions through them wherever he doesn't need to go. One of the things that he had both eyes on the 60s turned down, the nose turned down, the long secrets on the mouth. Now, he does have a smiley face, so we cannot determine if the mouth is turned down, but it's more on the process of things. The eyebrows even going down. You don't see a lot of people, and I have all my windows open and just somebody's moving across the street, so my apologies for the but it's like it's 55, 60 in the Midwest, so it's a nice day, and it's raining, so you can smell the rain. Can you see the eyebrows? They're going below the line of the outer contour of the eye. You can see this one going below the outer contour. It's not here, and it's happening here. Now, his eyes turn down nose. Can you see here? I never saw, except for addiction, sickness, or extreme loss, somebody get socket eyes, like the eyes suck inside the head. Bulging eyes are someone who want to be out there. Sucking inwards, it's a person who want to be invisible. They don't want to be seen. They don't want to get there. We don't teach that in any of the 1 to 5 levels. That it's going to be for train the trainers, because it's kind of delicate. If you don't have a timing in reading, you can do a wrong reading. But that is the special class I give to doctors, nurses, psychologists, and psychiatrists. I don't know what was happening, but I think that somebody says that he was heavily drinking. Yeah, Archangel Music. Ringo was a heavily drinker. That you see. Can you see it? That's what I'm saying, that face reading is intuitive. So Moonlight says, yeah, Moonlight know enough already to, like, it's prominent, and the eyebrows, it's caught it. So this is what is get to your attention. No, Elba?
Yes. It's like cut. Okay.
Velvet Moon, is that grief on his forehead? It's not on the forehead. You're not going to see grief on the forehead. You're going to see grief on the mouth, and you're going to see it on the cheek. And I see burning lines, like burning lines. He have a big well pad. So I guess that he get out of this darkness, but anyway, you can see the white under the eyes.
Yes.
Even both. His eyes become darker. One day, and one of the reasons I haven't done it yet is because even on private readings and private classes, people get shocked. The before and after, when people is addicted to heroin and some drugs, Elva and I, we have done the review of that material, and it still have a conflict to show it. Maybe we're going to do a special like 9 p.m. where you need to register, so we don't go make it public, because they're so shocking how people get depleted cheek, depleted face, and like they're shrinking. The eyes, but the eyes, how the eyes change is crazy. Remember when we did Sinatra and we showed that the eyebrows,
yes,
that are cut in short because he started having problem with the short memory term. Well, that happened here. His eyebrows would cut it and become managerial. He trying to manage his personal life all the time, but he can't.
No.
Do you know that is the meaning? So can you see? Either is for an accident, either is because he chose to shave it, either whatever is the reason. The face that I read is the face that I see.
Mm-hmm.
So Moonlight says, but really look like mood makeup almost. No, that it is.
Mm-mm.
No is pointed left. No, actually, you know what? Good point. Thank you for bringing it up. It's the angle of the picture. If you look here, you can see all the angle of the picture is turned to like a little tilted. So when you have an example like that, I would say do not read it. We have more information, but like, yeah, I would say the problem with Ringo Starr is that he is trying to make an effort to manage his life because he have managerial eyebrows, but he is hollow here. The wide part of the eyes, the hollow of the eyes, and the embedded on the socket, it's crazy. He lost all the life there.
Mm-hmm. He get disconnected from the things that he was living.
Anything else, Elva, that you saw?
Yes, his mouth. It's like, I don't want to talk about anything of my feelings. And it gets smaller. So he stopped talking and he stopped talking about his feelings. So it's because his upper lip, it's almost covered.
Guess what? Okay, let's see who caught it. What does this line mean? And where we saw it before? I'm going to give you a clue. The royals. On the royals, people who wasn't related to each other, but they were incorporated to the royal family, start developing that line on the top of the lip. Who can tell me what did that mean?
Come on, people.
Come on. My students are not here. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, Elva, you want to say it?
Yeah.
You want to say it?
Yes, he has a forced smile.
Yep. When somebody have this line here, it's a forced smile. Now, when you see this line here and this line here, you have a person who's like, Velvet Moon, sorry, we say first. Yeah, you had a girl. Congrats. Good for you. Congratulations. So, yeah, it's a forced smile. Now, when you feel that you're forced to smile, when situations around you are not good, but you want to show that everything is okay, everything magic, everything, it's awesome, but it's not. So what happened with Ringo Starr, I don't know, music, Arcangel Music, do you know anything about Ringo Starr? I have the feeling this guy didn't have a good young years, and he was forced to say everything is okay, everything is okay. Elva, anything else? Yes. Because you was driving me crazy to go to this one. You want to read only this one.
Yeah, because you can see how people can change. It's just 10 years. And it's another thing. It's great to see how face can change and how you can change.
Well, I guess if you're part of the Beatles for 10 years, that was bad. That was mean. That was mean even for me. Sorry.
They get to a point. I was reading. They get to a point that they stopped giving concerts because it was so loud. The crowd was screaming, and the girls and everything, that they get sick of it and said, "You know what? No more. It's too much noise." So yes.
Well, it happened last year for me. Was so much exposure. I made it 3 times to the front page of huge, to the Chicago Tribune, to the Midwest Tribune, 2 times on the Midwest Tribune. I have some interviews saying like, oh, she's the equal to the human polygraph. And I'm not famous. Nobody knows me. I can go to the supermarket and nobody point me. but people start attacking me in a way that like, what the heck? When people want to like, oh, I want to be known. I don't want to be known. I will disappear. I live in the middle of nowhere where nobody knows what I have. I have a big skull and red lights outside my house, so people get scared and don't bother me. Being exposed and being known, everybody wants those minutes of fame, but the cost benefit of that in your personal life and the pressure to be scrutinized all the time. And at this point of life, the 60s, we don't have Twitter, people don't have cell phones, but now there are famous people who go like to grab a coffee and they take a picture in public, like fighting for a coffee in a coffee shop. Like, no. So I cannot imagine the pressure these four have. I wouldn't want one day on the life of these people. I'm nobody, and I feel too exposed. This one, they couldn't go to India until, and everybody know them on the airport. And by the way, I don't remember where it was. They weren't allowed to play if they don't cut their hair. I saw a movie or documentary a couple of years ago where if they didn't cut their hair, they weren't allowed to be playing. I don't remember what it was. Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr are still performing and releasing music, and recently reunited to record a song that John Lennon wrote the last year of his life and played a couple of songs live together in LA. And thank you very much for keep us on Describer. You are the officially on this team, Describer, and you need everybody on the team. So we talk about the rebel, however you want to say it. Thank you for being with us. We were early today. I hope you have a good lunch. And if you're seeing this later, now, if you want to learn face reading, you can go to humanbehaviorhackerschool.com. Even if you purchase or you get your classes today or this weekend, you're going to have a second chance to have the classes for the same price. Beside that, the 2 times a month, the homework class, the open class for that were sometimes for 45 minutes, sometimes for 4 hours. We are answering questions live and reviewing the homework with you. We're going to be re-recording all the classes with the students who register until July 10. So if you want to learn face reading instead only by a recording, but with other group of peers, please go to and register, because now you can see the classes, all the levels, and on top of that, you can do it a second time and have a year to review your material. Now, if you want to know what traumas we are getting into with Elva, because believe me, she looked like the nice one, but that lady is trouble, you can go to humanbehaviorlab.com. And only to let you know, we have classes in Spanish and English. So if you know anybody who will be feeling more comfortable, or maybe it's from Latin America and some parts of Europe when they speak Spanish, Elva is there. And by the way, we're going to be recording the English classes together. Go, girl. Go, girl.
Great. It's going to be great.
Yep. So if you want to contact Elva, where you need to go, when they need to go, love?
You have to go to elva@humanbehaviorlab.com. And if you want to contact Susan, where do they need to go, Susan?
They need to go to susan@humanbehaviorlab.com. Moonlight, please send me your picture or send me your contact information. I do think that we have your information for the raffle, so I maybe contact you. But yeah, if it's not the same place that you send the information for the raffle, please send it to me, because I want to see your face. There is something in your face. Now you got me all going on. I want to know what is happening there. You know me, just stubborn like a mule. Thank God. You know what? I was talking to my hair is all over the place. To you today. I was talking with I'm start coaching classes with an English professor teacher to improve my English writing. And she says, like, well, you regret being dyslexic. Like, no, it's the best thing who happened in my life, because the best profilers on the world are dyslexic. It's not my problem, it's other people's problem if I made a mistake. So don't judge me for my grammar, judge me for my knowledge. You know what? If you are paying more attention to any misspellings instead to the knowledge you can receive when we sharing time with you, maybe you need to go to another channel. Maybe you need to read another blog. But if you want to learn, doesn't matter how and what, you're welcome. Elba?
Thank you for everyone being here. It was great.
And yeah, okay, we have moonlight information. Great. Much thanks, beautiful ladies. Much thanks to you. Elba, next Friday we have break. For you, it's not a break. For you, it's like a torture not to be able to be on the live. But honey, some people need a break. I need a break.
I want to keep going.
I know, honey, but it's not going to work. So to everyone, thank you very much. Enjoy your weekend. My love, it's always a pleasure to share the spotlight with you.
It's a pleasure too. Bye, everyone.